Hi guys. So I pulled this card for you. We have the Seven of Fire. And then we have the Eight of Fire on the bottom of the deck. So the 7 and the 8. Okay, so then we have the messages of Monopoly, Bookstore, Healing, Nurturing, Charmander, and Knights in Rodant. So I tried to do this reading for you before, but there was like this weird interruption of just I want to alchemize it in a way that is like soaring above whatever the heck that energy was. So we're gonna flip the script on this because the first reading, I was picking up something from this card, and it reminded me of the Gemini reading where something was hovering over something precious. But we're going to change that, and we are going to have you hovering over your precious thing and protecting it. That's what we're going to do. And your goal. This is yours, and we're going to protect it. So I'll go ahead and just like read some of the things that I picked up from these messages already. So we had Monopoly here, and obviously that's a board game, and it's about owning different things on the board, collecting things. And we have Bookstore next to it, so that could be important in some way to the Monopoly thing. But the other message we were getting with the Bookstore was from the movie You've Got Mail, where there were these two people who were like talking to each other behind the screen. They were emailing each other back and forth. This was like back in the day when you don't have a face, and it was kind of like almost like a dating thing that they were on. And so they were talking back and forth to each other, and they really liked each other. And the whole movie, this energy was like building up between these two people behind the screen. But in reality, they bump into each other in a bookstore. He bumps into her in her bookstore, I believe, or she bumps into him in his bookstore. I can't remember what happened first, but anyways, his bookstore was putting her bookstore out of business, kind of like a big business putting a small business out of business. And I kind of related it to like a Walmart putting out small businesses. It's like that kind of feel, like taking the flow from like what a small business would normally receive. So we have that kind of thing going on, and then we have healing right next to it, which made me feel like it was closer to the end of that story, like the You've Got Mail story, like where they're like healing and coming together and starting to kind of like they realize they like each other in some regards, but you discern where you're at in that if this pertains to you. So then we have nurturing, which could just simply be about like an inner child, or your little phoenix energy, maybe not little, but your phoenix energy right here, which is what reminded me of this, blossoming out of this right here and watching over your phoenix energy, protecting it, taking the proper like protection, guarding, like however you need to do that. You need to it seems very relevant right now. And even with like here, just bring whatever level of protection you need, like even if it's stuff that you might not normally do, it just feels like something extra is needed. And I'm even wearing my my snakes, you know, 90s vintage. But I'm just yeah, just like use your discernment. And if you have any kind of like alarm, if you're just being alarmed to something right now, or something just feels slightly off, just pay attention to that and be proactive. Okay, so we have nurturing, and I feel like that was about that energy, but it's also next to Charmander, which in this context, I'm going to relate it to your inner child, even to this like fiery energy, because this is technically Mercury in Sagittarius, so it is quite youthful. It's in their reading, we had the message about the ladybug and exploring and being adventurous and just like being unafraid to just like challenge um the rules in a way, like not being afraid of what people think of you. And we were talking kind of like about like winter ASMR, like going out and like, if someone doesn't know what you're doing and you're sitting there looking like you're talking to trees and like rubbing a tree, people are going to be like, oh, what is that person doing? Oh my God. Especially like maybe even some like older people who aren't aware of like ASMR. Do you know what I mean? Just like, but it's like about being unafraid of that. But I think it's also wise to have a certain level of awareness as well, though. But yeah, just being unafraid, just like kind of like explore your environment, or explore whatever it is that you're doing right now. It seems like it's very healthy to just like nourish and nurture that inner child energy. Whatever that new adventure that you are taking on right now, just helpful to like just like almost protect it like a mother. Like it's okay. Like give it that like reassurance and like emotional support that it needs, especially if you're not getting it from anyone outside of you. Then we have the Knights in Rodanthe. And this is about these two older folks. And I believe they're both widowed. And it's on a beach. I believe she owns the house and she's like renting out a room. And he comes and rents out the room. I think he was a writer. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember, but I know they had like tension and stuff, like kind of like this bookstore situation, I believe. But they end up, falling in love at the end. And I was gonna say something about like renewed, because they're older. Maybe like you've been in like just you've had like a partner, or you've had like hmm. Anyways, they've had a story. Clearly they're, a lot older, so they've had like a whole story before that. And just finding love again. Maybe when you thought like it was kind of like I guess like thought it was over, or you were just like too old, or hmm. So, nurturing, protecting whatever's blooming right now. Because it seems like whatever's blooming, you obviously have had to do a lot of work for it to even like come up. Like for the lotus to even rise up out of the murky water, it just means like you've pushed through something, or you are pushing through to something. And be just like protecting it, like just whatever this is, like extra protection, just extra protection. Because it feels like something is almost looking at your energy in a way that's maybe not so healthy, but it's yours. It's clearly yours. It's your new beginning. it's like just yours. Like this is you. A beautiful, beautiful energy popping out. Hmm. Is that it? Yeah, Monopoly, just trying to collect pieces on a board. We did get a message from exercising a level of discernment. Like there was almost an almost a hmm. It reminds me of the Aries reading. Like what's a rose when compared to wealth? And this whole like collector's feeling, like someone collecting students. I keep thinking about in the other reading, it went back to the Harry Potter movie. um I forgot what the professor's name is, but he collected students in this Monopoly thing. It feels like this, but this is yours. Look at you. Like this is yours. You're hovering over your own stuff. You're protecting it. Like just protect it. You just use the discernment that you need to use right now. I would advise just like leaning a little extra on your like spiritual guidance, because clearly this is yours and it's not anyone else's. And yeah. And if we like think about it in this like Charmander energy, like you're new. It looks like you're in this Charmander energy. So you have several like evolutions of whatever this is. So protect it. There might be an energy around you just thinking that you're like something easy to catch, like a Charmander, but you just be extra just aware, and just protect your energy, protect the newness of what is like coming out. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't want to keep picking. So anyways, I hope that helped you in some way, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.